So I had lunch last week with this young woman, and only a very simple thing kept me from touching her. It was my faith in God and in the LAPD. And towards the end of our lunch, our conversation became serious. I told her my therapist says I'm driven to marginalize myself wherever I go. Doesn't matter if it is Hollywood or Judaism or journalism. I either have to be the leader, or in my grasping for leadership, I marginalize myself. I don't relate to people in a normal way. Why not, she asked. Why do you marginalize yourself? I told her I could give you lots of good stories, lots of good reasons. I've built them up over the years. I've accumulated these reasons as self-defense. I tell you it's because of my devotion to my craft, to writing and to art and to the transcendent. I could tell you that my marginalization comes because I'm a heroic truth seeker, and I've believed these things and I still believe them. That I've thrown away my life. I've exchanged what was valuable for grandiose delusions. She asked me, so what's the truth? Why do you really marginalize yourself? I said it's because I'm afraid that if I was to relate with people with an open heart, if I talk to people without throwing up barriers between us, then I'm afraid that people might reject me for who I really am. You see, I put up so many barriers between you and me that if you reject me, I can tell myself, you're not rejecting me for who I really am. You're rejecting me for my blog. You're rejecting me for my heroic pursuit of the truth. You're rejecting me for my Judaism, or because I made an offensive joke. So when people reject me for these external things, it's not nearly as painful as when people get to know the true me, then reject me. That hurts. I had a shot at a normal life, at this one brief shining opportunity for happiness. I let it slip through my fingers. I was afraid to be known for who I really was. See, I moved to the Napa Valley with my parents in May of 1977 to Pacific Union College, where my father, Desmond Ford, was a professor of religion. I entered 6th grade at Pacific Union College Elementary School that September. And here was my great opportunity to move up in social status. This was before the internet. So this is where you move to a new town and people don't necessarily know that you're a loser in your hometown. They don't know that you weren't invited to the cool parties. They don't know that you're not cool. They don't know you're insecure and needy. They might just think you're interesting. I had a cool accent. That was the one thing I had going for me. Somehow I made a good impression on the hottest girl in my 6th grade class, Cindy Anderson. Perhaps it was just a miracle of divine grace. So here I am, the new kid at school. I don't really know anyone. And I'm 11 years old. I'm increasingly interested in girls. And I was fascinated by Lip Smacker. The girls in my class would apply these tubes of glass to their lips and make them really shiny, and then they'd smell of fruit. I think Cindy used to diligently apply strawberry Lip Smacker and bubblegum Lip Smacker. I think she might have been taller than me. She had a symmetrical face and clear skin. She was a brunette, long, shiny hair. She had curves. She could run fast. She was more subdued than me. She was more ladylike than me. I just loved to look at her and dream about her, and I yearned to be close to her. Then one afternoon, she walked by my desk, and she dropped a note. I opened up the note. I think it was the first note I received in 6th grade, and it read, "Will you go with me?" Like, this note was like an atomic bomb. I was just blown away. I blushed, my heart pounded. I had what I wanted. It was right there in my grasp, yet I was afraid to hold it, to seize it. I was afraid to be who I really was. I was afraid to confess to Cindy that I wanted to go with her too. It reminds me of this time in 2nd grade when I was out swimming with a friend of mine, and these other people offered me ice cream. And ice cream was what I wanted most right then, but I said no. Somehow I just had this instinct to say no to what I want most. I couldn't look at Cindy for a few days, and then I just started teasing her awfully, endlessly, incessantly. Day after day I teased her. There was a good guy in the grade above us who often walked home with Cindy. I think his name was Mark Friegel. One day he got tired of me teasing him about Cindy, and he chased me, and I ran away, and about half a mile later I ran out of steam, and he caught up with me and explained to me there was nothing going on between him and Cindy, and I should stop teasing both of them, and I did. He was bigger than me. After a few months, I came to my senses and I summoned the courage to drop a note on Cindy's desk asking her, would you like to go with me? And she quickly dropped back a note saying, I don't! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation point. And I was devastated, all those exclamation marks. I told my closest friends that I'd never love a girl again. I think Cindy left town after 6th grade. I've never seen or heard from her since. I wonder if she's still hot. My favorite movie is Cinema Paradiso. It's about a kid in a small town in Italy who falls in love with this girl and with cinema. His mentor realizes he'll never achieve great things if he stays in town, so the mentor gets the kid out of the town, away from the girl, and the kid goes on to be a great movie director. And one day he's called to come home for his mother's funeral, and he runs into the girl that he loved as a child. I want that opportunity too. I've bollocks up so many chances. There's that great Air Supply song, Chances. There's a chance that you'll be there. Please be there alone. Like over the past 9 years, I've twice put myself back in Seventh-day Adventist land. I have no belief in the distinctive doctrines of the church. But I have an eternal faith in the beauty and purity and of Seventh-day Adventist girls. And smelling their lip smacker makes me feel young again. I feel like I'm sitting in my desk in 6th grade and the most beautiful girl in the class has just dropped me a note asking me to go with her. This time I'll say yes.